Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the greatest show with Nor that shines the brightest glow. You can stay at home or stay at work, but you don't have to travel to and fro. So sit back, tune in and relax, cause we will fill you in with all there is to know.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to the second part of our episode on Zakat. Thank you so much for still tuning in with us. This podcast is sponsored by Screen Troopers. You may check them out for any video production, animation and graphic motion, and also live streaming. Thanks to the team for the sponsorship and also the production of this podcast. We have just shared on the basic and frequent questions about Zakat and amazing experiences from the Amil officer in the previous episode. Hopefully, it will be beneficial and helpful for the listeners. And now, after knowing and hearing these facts and stories, we have received some other questions pertaining to Zakat and the benefits of the recipient or beneficiaries. On this special episode, we will dive in deeper on these questions, and here with us another esteemed guest, which is Ustaz Mustafa, a senior Mosque Religious officer and also an Amil Zakat here at Masjid Maarof. And also with us today, the previous speaker for the first episode, which is Ustaz Suffiyan. So, welcome to NoM podcast.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Ustaz, for coming.
Thank you so
Right,
much,
so Ustaz Mustafa, might want to share a bit of your background.
Assalamualaikum everyone. Thank you for having Ustaz Suffiyan juga. So, my name is Ustaz Mustafa. I work at Masjid Maarof as the Mosque Religious officer, and part of kita punya kerja sebagai MRO di masjid adalah kita buat the zakat for orang-orang yang datang kat masjid, macam zakat fitrah, zakat harta. Kadang-kadang kita juga buat the calculation for them. I see. This is a very interesting topic lah to talk about, and important one juga.
I'm pretty sure you got a lot of experience and stories, huh?
Baru buat tadi.
Oh, buat tadi. Okay, so we can touch on that later on, insyaAllah. Right, so thank you Ustaz for stay with us again.
Thank you.
And also thank Ustaz Mustafa for your effort and work all this year, insyaAllah. Right, without further ado, let us go into the topic for today, insyaAllah.
InsyaAllah.
Right, now, Ustaz Mustafa, we talked in the previous episode about haul and the other syarat and so on. So, there might be some confusion on the definition of haul. So, maybe what is the simple definition on haul, and what if the savings falls under nisab within that one haul?
First, we need to ingat lagi the four syarat or condition of siapa tu kena bayar zakat.
Correct.
The first one is he must be Muslim. Yang kedua, dia kena sampai nisabnya. Yang ketiga, complete the haul. And this is what I'm gonna explain more later. Yes. And last, must be milkutam. So one of the condition is haul. So what is haul actually? Haul is a complete one Hijri year, which is 355 days. Okay. And kalau sekiranya seseorang itu duit dia sampai the nisab for one Hijri year, kirakan dia dah complete dia punya haul. So 355 days or one Hijri year. Okay. Kalau sekiranya at any point during that one Hijri year, dia punya amount of money falls below nisab, then dia tak perlu bayar, ataupun dia punya starting point is after dia dah reach the nisab again.
Alright, I see.
So the rotation starts one more time.
Oh, so it's a whole new cycle lah kira-kira.
Yes, it's a whole new cycle. Kena take note 355 days or one Hijri calendar.
I see. Okay. So Ustaz, what if someone, they play smart lah, they know that dah sampai one haul, then they withdraw all the money so that the saving sikit. Gitu macam mana
Good question tu. Ustaz.
Okay. Kalau soalan macam ni, kan, we have to understand that when a person withdraws his money, we need to understand that zakat harta ni is based on all his liquidated assets lah. Kan? Di ibaratnya macam kita pakai seluar ni, right pocket, left pocket, we need to check all our pockets dengan duit-duit yang kita simpan bawah bantal lah. 200, 300 yang kita simpan kat tepi celah mana semua, all of it is to be included dalam kita punya zakat harta. But however, sebagaimana Ustaz dah rightly pointed out, so bila seseorang dah sampai kadar nisab, the lowest amount above kadar nisab tu, lowest amount tadi dikalikan 2.5%. Jadi kalau kita not sure duit ni daripada bila, duit ni pula daripada bila, kita better to be safe than to be sorry lah dia nak cakap, nak include semuanya. Sekarang,
So
bila kita perkiraan.
technically tak payah nak tipu lah kan. Ni semua ibadah kan.
Betul.
Nak tipu siapa.
Niat kita tu Allah dah tahu dah.
Ya.
Jadi itulah kisahnya.
I see. Okay. Alright. So Ustaz, how about CPF? Does that include in our milkutam or our direct access to the our wealth and so on?
Jadi soalan yang bagus Sebagaimana kita telah sebutkan kan, the 4 syarat CPF doesn't meet the last one, which is milkutam, milik penuh terhadap account tadi. Maksudnya under the age of 85 kan, 54, 50 years old, kita pun kan tak boleh nak menggunakan CPF duit kita, correct. Kecuali in certain areas je kan, kecuali medisave, kecuali beli rumah. So because of that, ulama mengatakan bahawa tak diwajibkan membayarkan zakat atas akaun CPF kerana kita tidak mempunyai milik penuh terhadap akaun tadi. Kecuali after the age of 55 years old. 55 years old, you fall under category 1 or 2. Kategori 1 adalah mereka yang menemui minimum sum. If your CPF amount is more than the minimum sum, you will receive a lump sum daripada CPF sendiri. So letaklah 200,000 kelepuk jatuh dekat kita punya dekat bank account. Adakah perlu dibayarkan zakat terus bila kita menerimanya? Jawapannya tidak. Tunggu setahun Hijri selepas pada hari bulan tersebut. Sebagaimana Mustafa telah sebutkan haulnya, setelah satu haul barulah kita keluarkan zakat atas harta tersebut. So
before that dia tak ada access kan. So dia tak milik that CPF.
Betul,
kan?
exactly.
So it's counted 1 year after that.
Correct. Jadi kalau mereka yang tak meet the minimum sum pula, at the age of 65 if I'm not wrong, mereka akan menerima monthly payouts. Monthly payouts ini pula cara kita kirakan zakat kepadanya adalah kita melihatnya seperti gaji. Where your annual zakat harta on savings akan merangkumi segala monthly payout yang you receive daripada CPF bond.
I see. Okay.
Saya harap jelaslah macam tu
InsyaAllah. So listeners hopefully able to share this with your parents and whatnot so that they know what to do when their CPF disbursed to them lah.
Betul.
Right, so moving on to the next question, Ustaz, we receive a lot of these questions. So after a person's loved one passed on, what is the next step? Do we faraid on the spot? Or do we pay the zakat for that deceased and so on?
Bila seseorang tu meninggal dunia, kan, kita fahamkan bahawa before we act on the faraid, kita nak kena settlekan hutang-hutang je. Dan hutang-hutangnya termasuk hutang-hutang adami, hutang dengan manusia. Misalnya saya pernah hutang dengan Ustaz Mustafa $10 lah nak beli ginger chicken dengan bubble tea misalnya.
Bila nak bayar Ustaz?
Itulah. Kalau sampai ke meninggal pun kalau tak settle juga, maknanya seharusnya saya tulis dekat wasiat saya belum bayar dekat Mustafa $10 atas ginger chicken dengan bubble tea misalnya macam tu.
Dah tulis ke belum?
Itulah. Nanti saya tuliskan insya-Allah.
So maksudnya kena settlekan all the
hutang-hutang adam dan juga settlekan hutang-hutang kepada Allah. Hutang-hutang kepada Allah lah maksud this question yang mengenai zakat kan on the deceased kan punya money, kita fahamkan that falls under hutang-hutang kepada Tuhan, termasuk juga padanya fidyah yang lepas, termasuk padanya juga puasa-puasa qada yang belum dipuasakan kan. Nabi pernah mengatakan dalam sebuah hadis, puasa-puasa yang qada yang tidak dilaksanakan oleh si arwahnya tadi diwarisi kepada keluarganya, maksudnya keluarganya yang mempuasakan untuknya.
Okay.
Dan antaranya juga adalah zakat harta tadilah. Jadi bila dah cukup syarat yang 4 tadi, bila dia Muslim, nisabnya telah ditemui, haulnya telah dipenuhi, milik penuh pun dah dilengkapi, dah dapat milik penuh, maka wajib untuk tunaikan zakat atas harta tersebut.
What if the family doesn't know when is the haul for that deceased and so on?
Soalan yang bagus. Bagaimana kalau keluarganya tak tahu haulnya bila? Kita fahamkan bahawa haul tadi kita kasih a rough estimate lah of when the haul can be. Kalau betul-betul because kita fahamkan bahawa from the time beliau meninggal, seseorang meninggal hinggalah the money is unfreeze semula, it will take some time. Ada yang makan bulan, ada yang makan up to a year. Maka kita fahamkan bahawa that timing mungkin sudah melebihi 355 days sebagaimana Ustaz Mustafa dah cakapkan tadi kan. Jadi kita kasih a rough estimate lah.
Janji kita lepaskan that zakat dulu dan from there baru bayar faraid so give out faraid so on.
Betul.
Okay.
Yang penting kena bayar Ustaz.
Betul.
Dah dapat duitnya, bayar
dulu.
Datang kat Masjid Maarof bayar.
Betul. Okay. Right, so Ustaz, just now you mentioned about fidyah and so on. So how do we exactly pay and count our fidyah? For example, a person pass away and then has been sick for 10 years and so on. But the family tak tahu how long dia tak puasa before that. So how does the family pay the fidyah or count the fidyah for the deceased one?
Okay, kita kena understand first yang fidyah tu khas untuk orang yang tidak boleh puasa. Seperti contoh, orang yang dah usia dia dah berlanjut sampai tak boleh puasa, betul-betul tak boleh puasa.
Uzur lah, dah bedridden.
Dah uzur, orang yang sakit, yang betul-betul tak mampu, those critical illnesses. Jadi diorang dibenarkan untuk membayar fidyah kerana mereka tidak mampu untuk qada puasa mereka. Dan mengikut kadar hari ini, fidyah harganya $1.40. Jadi untuk setiap hari yang hamba Allah tu miss puasa dia perlu bayar dengan harga yang ditetapkan. Jadi sebagai contoh, kalau dia tak boleh puasa selama sebulan, maka setiap hari 30 hari Ramadan tu dia perlu bayar $1.40 selama 30 hari. Dia juga ikut berapa tahun kemungkinan. Ada orang perlu bayar selama 10 tahun, ada 20 tahun, ada seumur hidup. Jadi fidyah ini adalah satu perkara yang penting yang kita perlu kena keep note lah. Kalau sekiranya kita tak mampu ataupun keluarga kita, saudara mara kita tak mampu untuk puasa, kita pun kena take note lah. Takut apa-apa jadi.
So Ustaz, macam kalau macam medically doktor cakap tak boleh puasa so can that person pay in advance when Ramadan comes ke macam mana?
Sebaiknya kalau doktor dah betul-betul kata awak tak boleh puasa, tak mampu puasa, kalau awak puasa akan berlaku gini.
Mudarat
maka dah mudarat, maka dibolehkan untuk awak pay in advance.
Tapi kena Ramadan datang dulu lah. Jangan time Syakban ke apa kan.
Yes.
Ramadan dah datang. Sekarang ni lah kan, sekarang bulan Ramadan kan.
Sekarang bulan Ramadan.
So boleh bayar lah.
Betul. Jadi
tapi nak kena amanah lah kan.
Kena amanah, tak boleh macam aku rasa aku tak boleh puasa. Itu tak boleh. Dia kena sebab yang masuk akal, yang munasabah, seperti kesihatan akan affected.
Mungkin kalau saya boleh tambah Ustaz, mengenai penjelasan Ustaz Mustafa tadi, kita fahamkan bahawa fidyah ni kalau kita tengok dalam segi agama lah, sebenarnya maksudnya adalah untuk memberi makan seseorang, makanlah isi perutnya lah. Dan kita fahamkan bahawa $1.40 tadi diambil daripada 600 gram daripada staple food kita, iaitu beras. Dan kita juga fahamkan bahawa pada tiap-tiap hari yang tidak mampu untuk dipuasa tadi, dibayarkan fidyah ataupun dikasihkan orang makan. Itu yang disebutkan di dalam Al-Quran dan juga hadis Nabi SAW. Dan kita fahamkan juga bahawa jika fidyah itu, kita fahamkan dalam mazhab Syafi'i kan, ada ulama mengatakan bahawa jika seseorang itu tidak ada alasan syar'i dan beliau mengqadakan kewajipannya even beyond the next Ramadan, kan kita fahamkan ada pergandaan yang berlaku
multiply
kan, multiply kan, kita fahamkan bahawa itu hanya berlaku bagi mereka yang sengaja melambat-lambatkan puasa dan tidak menghabiskan qadanya sehinggalah bertemunya Ramadan yang nanti. Jadi it's a sort of penalty lah to see.
Dan juga takzir, jangan main-main.
Betul.
Betul.
Ulama mengatakan bahawa ini perkara yang serius. Ini adalah kewajipan awak sebagai seorang Muslim, maka lakukannya lah. Tapi kalau ada alasan syar'i, misalnya saya dapat soalan Ustaz, I think last 2 weeks ke apa, seseorang ni dia terkena tuberculosis, TB
TB.
Dan sefahaman saya mengikut emailnya, dia memerlukan untuk memakan ubat dengan sering
setiap hari
2-3 times a day dan selama beberapa bulan lah. Jadi kita fahamkan bagaimana pula dengan berpuasa. Dia kata saya tak sempat untuk mengqadakkan puasa sebab saya kena makan ubat macam tu, saya dah reach a critical stage dan sebagainya. Kita fahamkan bahawa if this is temporary ke ataupun permanent pun, you cuma bayar fidyah aja. You dah tak mampu untuk and if it's temporary pun, maka kita fahamkan dengan dia bahawa you punya, bila you delay your qada tu, you tak dikenakan penalty lah. Kalau orang yang suka-suka ambil sambil lewa, itulah yang dikenakan.
Lah. Tapi ultimately I think dekat website MUIS pun ada calculator dia kan for fidyah.
Betul.
You can just put your years yang you tak puasa and how many days, and dia will automatically kira how many you need to pay. Sometimes it can be thousands macam mana Ustaz kalau berat nak bayar tu?
Kalau berat sangat nak bayar, maka kita fahamkan dengan dia, kita ambil dasar je lah apa yang kita mampu lah, apa yang kita mampu. Dan itu insyaAllah mencukupi lah.
InsyaAllah. Tapi nak kena take note lah, jangan main-main.
Betul, cuba untuk habiskan. Yalah.
Speaking about yang patient TB tu, I think it's very accurate because one of my close one facing that this year. So dia pun tengah tanya juga macam mana nak puasa tak. Pasal memang everyday. Everyday dia nak makan ubat depan doktor.
Berapa banyak biji
Banyak. I think more than 10 tau.
Uish.
They need to eat in front of the doctor.
In front of doctor sebab dah serius sangat
dah
tu.
serius sangat. So macam dia pun tengah fikir macam mana nak puasa ke tak puasa
itu
ke.
besar.
I mean diri dia katanya dia boleh puasa and so on. Tapi doktor advice tak boleh. Pasal apa? Kena makan ubat and so on. And on top of that pun dia ada other conditions jugalah. Diabetes and so on.
Faham.
So doktor memang advise not to fast lah. So in that sense is permissible to pay fidyah instead
InsyaAllah lah.
Tapi kalau empunya badan cakap macam boleh juga, he think that he can continue fasting.
Tapi dia tak menjejaskan ubat punya schedule tadi.
I mean he try to macam arrange makan time sahur and so on. Kalau doktor kasih then I think boleh
kalau
lah.
tak ada kemudaratan boleh lah puasa.
InsyaAllah. Okay. Yeah, so alhamdulillah, hopefully the listeners are able to benefit these few pointers very relevant. Maybe some of us are facing this, our family yang facing sakit, orang tua and so on. So how much they need to pay fidyah and so on. Hopefully these pointers are able to help you lah, insyaAllah. Alright, so moving on to the topic about zakat, as we mentioned in the previous episode, where generally zakat do give benefit to the recipient. So for example, the basic needs, the studies and so on for the fisabilillah and so on. So Ustaz Mustafa, have you personally received or hear someone receive these bursaries or assistance and in that sense help the studies and so on? Back then when you in Azhar University, insyaAllah.
Alhamdulillah for myself, I tak dapat lah yang the bursary. But I do know banyak dan ramai of my friends yang receive bursaries and Alhamdulillah sekarang mereka contributing back to the community in many ways. Jadi Alhamdulillah for those bursaries sangat bermanfaat for them. How about you, Ustaz?
Yeah, so sama juga lah. Alhamdulillah, I have few friends yang receive these bursaries and scholarship and so on, and they really make use of it. They bought books, resources, they use for their rental, use for their transportation to go study beyond the curriculum and so on. And alhamdulillah, right now, as you said, some of them really doing well right now, contributing and serving back to the community. So it's a one cycle lah, kan? When you help, then that person benefit, and then they help again and so on. So I think generally Ustaz memang zakat ni really have the benefit. It completes everyone lah in sense. So maybe Ustaz Suffiyan, macam is there any other benefits from zakat?
For if you take a look at the zakat on the 8 asnafs, the disbursement, we understand that, as rightfully mentioned lah, kan, some of the money will go to assistance of bursaries, scholarships. Some of them will go to even promas assistance as well, and the madrasah students as well. Besides that, let's suppose we mentioned, we can, as mentioned in the first episode, there are 8 asnafs, and let's mention them one by one, and we see how our zakat in Singapore helps
benefit
this community, kan. Firstly, we have fakir and miskin, and we understand that this, as per mentioned last episode,
Nasi apa?
that more than 7,000 families are helped every year. So bukan nombor kecil, dan kita harapkan that we can continue to be of assistance to these families and beyond lah. Number 3, we have amilin, the amil of the masjids, and number 4, we have riqab. Riqab are those assistance of in today's context, we understand that riqab is for the opportunities for families like this to receive more educational help, help in terms of education lah. Number 5, we have gharimin, those who are in debt, diorang yang berhutang, dan we are not talking about hutang-hutang biasa,
hutang kereta,
bukan hutang
bukan
hutang kereta Porsche ke Maserati ke, itu kita cakap bukan. Hutang-hutang untuk daily basic necessities, utility bills lah, conservancy charges lah dan sebagainya. And then we have Ibn Sabil, those who are stranded in travel, kan, overseas dan sebagainya, fi sabilillah, di jalan Allah SWT, mereka-mereka yang dalam bidang dakwah, mereka-mereka yang masjid-masjid punya aktiviti dan sebagainya, asatizah development dan sebagainya, dan akhirnya kita ada mu'allaf, iaitu golongan converts kita. Sebagaimana kita fahamkan, duit tersebut akan digunakan untuk development converts kita dalam segi ilmu dan dalam segi support yang mereka menerima lah.
Yeah. I think generally lah, zakat ke sedekah ke donation ke, I think at the end of the day, we actually help that person, okay, in many ways. So, and hopefully these people who are recipient kan, bila diorang dapat that so-called stand ataupun a backup in their financial, they can do more beyond that. Contribute back and so on. Kan Ustaz? So memang it's a one cycle lah. It's a one whole life cycle lah kan, in that sense. So alhamdulillah. So again, these are the hikmah lah, wisdom behind zakat, donation and so on. So do check your due diligence, okay, if you are eligible or obligated to pay your zakat. So please do it wisely and so on, and ensure that the recipient are correct, in accordance to the criteria and so on. Yeah.
Bukan sembarang orang.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So again, we talk in the first episode about our relative. So if you know that our relative kind of in need, we check if they really in need ke tak. Then we can give some portion of zakat to them as well.
Sebagaimana disebut PCI tu kan.
Yeah, correct. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our episode on zakat and how it actually bring benefit to those who receive it. Thank you again for your time. If you wish to pay your zakat, fidyah or donation, you may drop by Masjid Maarof during office hours or email to us at info@maarof.mosque.sg.
And juga kalau sekiranya you cannot come during office hours, you can come after Tarawih from 9 PM to 10 PM for zakat fitrah sahaja.
Yes. Alright. And again, this podcast is sponsored by Screen Troopers. You may check them out for any video production, animation and graphic motions, and also live streaming. Thanks to the team again for the sponsorship and production of this podcast. Hopefully the listeners are able to benefit from this sharing. Thank you Ustaz Mustafa and Ustaz Suffiyan.
Thank you so much.
And with that, stay tuned to our Spotify for more episodes. Do follow us on our Facebook or Instagram for more content at Masjid Maarof and Nur of Maarof. Till then, take care. Ramadan Mubarak. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.